Let's dive into every single one of Descript's Underlord features. That's Descript's AI functions, so you can make the most out of your video and podcast editing software. I imported a video podcast episode. It's 31 minutes long, and I've given Descript a few minutes to transcribe this whole file because the Underlord over here on the right needs the transcript in order to do any of the things that it does. So with the Underlord menu open over here on the right, we're going to start at the very top in the Sound Good section. And the very top thing is Edit for Clarity. I love this feature because if I hit it and then hit submit, it'll take just a second or two, and it goes through the entire script and figures out where you need to edit for clarity, meaning where have you repeated your words? Where have you restarted your sentences? Where have you said or and or too many times? Or there's one section in here where I say, like 12 times in one sentence, and it gets rid of all of that stuff for you. Now, don't worry, it doesn't delete it automatically. At the bottom, you can decide to apply the edits to your existing script or copy edits to a new composition. I'm going to choose that, which means I'm still working in the same project and my original composition has not been changed at all. It created a new version of it, a new composition with those edits applied. So you can see the script here where it has some sections that are crossed out. That's because it didn't actually delete anything. It's using the ignore media function. This is one of my favorite things about Descript, to be honest, is if I have a sentence that I am not sure if I want to keep it in the video, but I kind of want to see what the video would look like without it or how it would sound without it, I can highlight it. Instead of hitting delete and removing it completely, I can hit Command Delete or with the menu, ignore media, and it just crosses it out. So I can hit play and watch the video as if that clip wasn't there, but it's still there in case I change my mind. Let's go back to the original composition now, and the next item in the Sound Good panel is Studio Sound. This is a really popular feature with Descript. I'm going to select it. It takes a couple of minutes to apply because it really is doing some heavy lifting for you, but you really only need to use Studio Sound if you record in a space where you have a lot of background noise or a lot of echo. So let me play a little clip without Studio Sound. This is episode 18. And then with Studio Sound, this is episode 18. Could you hear the difference? It's very subtle, but because I record in a space where I don't have a lot of background noise and my sound, my audio is generally pretty good without having to make any adjustments, it's hard to tell. But one of the biggest complaints about Studio Sound is that it can clip off the beginning or the end of your words. So make sure you come into the effect settings panel and adjust the intensity. If it clips off the end of your words and it sounds weird or it just doesn't sound right, you can adjust the intensity there. Most of the times 100% Studio Sound is really not necessary. So I'm going to leave it off for this project and come back up to Underlord. Now we have remove filler words, which is similar to what Edit for Clarity does, but in this case, when I hit that, it's giving me all of the results for those filler words. So with Edit for Clarity, it just automatically ignored the filler words for us and striked them out. Here, it's actually letting you go through each one, all 90 of them for this particular video, and letting you decide whether you want to get rid of it or not. You could also choose remove all, You could choose whether you want it to be deleted, whether you want to delete it and replace it with a gap. I don't know why you do that, or maybe you want to ignore it. You can also select which filler words you want it to pick up on. Now let's come down to remove retakes. This is another one of my favorite Underlord features because I do a lot of retakes, meaning I start a sentence, I restart the sentence, I try again. I could do that 100 times in a single video. So let's hit copy edits to a new composition down here at the bottom. And it looks very similar to what happened when we hit edit for clarity, but edit for clarity took out filler words and things like that. This is just looking for your retakes or you repeat yourself. The next Underlord feature I want to talk about is shorten word gaps. This has been a staple in Descript for a while now. It's one of my favorite features, one of the things that really brought me to Descript. And if I hit this button, shorten word gaps, what this does is it gives you a list of search results basically on the right-hand side, and you can adjust how long of a gap you want to look for. So the way that I think of this is anytime I'm recording my video and I'm trying to think about what to say next, or I'm taking a drink of coffee, or my phone rings, or I need to respond to a text and the camera's still rolling, I need to get rid of that. Nothing's happening. And Descript knows that in the script, it knows there's no text here. There's nothing to transcribe. So it sees that as a word gap. Now you can see in this 31, almost 32 minute long video that it picked up on 261 word gaps. And that's because I have this set to find any gap that's a half a second or more. And I can tell it to take all 261 of those gaps and shorten it to a half a second. Now, if I'm editing a YouTube tutorial type of a video, I will typically use this half a second gap as my guide. But for a podcast episode, even a video podcast episode, I find that a half a second is a little bit too aggressive, and I want my words, my conversation to be a little bit more natural and sound a little bit more free flowing. So typically what I'll do is look for, let's say 1 second or more, and shorten anything that's 1 second or more down to a half a second. That way it really is going to get rid of the actual pauses and not just like the natural conversational pauses. So we're down to 108 of these. I'm going to hit shorten all, and that's exactly what it did. It shortened all of them. So we went from almost 32 minutes down to 26. And the last feature under Sound Good is this add chapters function. So now if I hit add to script, you can see in the scene rail over on the left, I have actual chapters in here automatically. Now, if you love using Descript as much as I do, give this video a thumbs up and download the Descript cheat sheet that I created. It's a one-page PDF, it's completely free, and it's going to help you learn your way around this software. Let's move on to the next section of Underlord. This is the look good section. I had to go find another clip so that I could play with the eye contact feature. And the last time I used this, I didn't really like the results, but we're going to try it again. And I'm going to see if I can just apply it to one scene instead of the whole entire clip. So I'm going to select eye contact. Okay. I got to keep it together. Last time I tried this, it didn't work out so well. I was looking at my computer monitor, turn that eye contact back on. Last time I tried this, it didn't work out so well. I'm sorry, but this is weird. I don't like it. I do know that it tends to work better if you're looking down instead of over. Right now, my eyeballs are looking down below my camera. So let's apply it to this clip. Right now, my eyeballs are looking down below. That actually looks so much better. Now for the center active speaker option, I'll get to that in just a second, but let's play with the green screen option. I'll give it a couple minutes to apply and then we'll play with the settings and see how it works.
A few moments later.
Okay, so this is what we have. We have me just completely without a background at all. So it's so cool to be able to do this without a green screen, by the way. I've never been a green screen person, but now that it's so easy to do without having an actual green screen, let's take a look at this. So I'm going to pull in an image. It's over top of the video. So I'm going to right click and layer order, send to back. Oh, look, see, there I am right there on top. So let's play this. Yes, getting monetized on YouTube is a great milestone to reach. This is kind of weird because my desk, you can see, like my desk would normally be right here at an angle. It looks like the green screen feature removed part of my actual body, but it's not, it's just hidden by the desk. I actually think I might start doing some tutorials where my screen is being recorded in the background and I'm down here with a green screen. That's pretty nifty. I like that. I'm going to skip automatic multicam. We'll get to that in a second. Let's just go to generate image. Describe any image you can imagine. Underlord will create it for you. I want an image of a woman sitting at a laptop computer editing a YouTube video, but she's confused and running out of time. I don't know. I just made this up. Let's see what Descript can give me. Oh, interesting. Okay. The editing features are on the wrong side of the laptop. This one's pretty good. I like the style of that. What do we have here? This one's good. And this one's good. I love how she's looking at the camera like, how dare you take my photo? Now I want to play with the automatic multicam and the center active speaker because I don't know what this does yet. So I have imported a multicam sequence. This is an interview that I did with my community manager, Karen. This was episode 11 of Video Brand Infusion. So you can see we have a multicam sequence here. I'm going to hit automatic multicam and submit. It's asking me to choose a template. Hey, Karen, thanks for coming on to the video. What's the name of my podcast? Video Brand Infusion Podcast.
Yes.
Okay,
we're doing good.
So this is just some banter back and forth at the beginning of our conversation that obviously got edited out for the podcast, but you can see the back and forth, how Descript automatically switched back and forth between who was the active speaker. And you can see the scenes over in the scene rail that it goes back and forth depending on who is doing the speaking. Now, let me interrupt for just a moment because Descript updates their software all the time. So make sure you hit subscribe because my latest Descript tutorial and tips and tricks videos are always at the top of this playlist. Now, the center active speaker option, I'm not 100% sure how this works. So I'm going to hit submit and it's got us framed up here, but now Descript is sort of frozen. So I think I'm just going to chalk this up to the fact that it's in beta and it wasn't working very well at the time of this recording. So I'm going to pull up an actually already edited episode. This is episode 18, Video Brand Infusion podcast, which has already been published actually. So this is fully edited, already been published, and I want to come down here to this repurpose section because for a YouTube video or a video podcast, once it's already created, it is pretty handy to quickly be able to turn it into short form videos. So I'm going to hit create clips. It is going to ask me what template that I want to use. So it has some pre-designed templates. Let's try this one. Yeah, we'll go with this. It's going to ask how many clips do you want? I'm just going to say, let's just give me 3 clips. It does ask for how long of a clip you want to create, but it doesn't always stick to that. We'll just go with, let's do 20 seconds. If you have a specific topic that you know you want it to look for to bring out those clips, then you could put it here. So let's hit submit. It gave me 2 options. It created a new composition for us in the same project. Creating and promoting your own product, even if it's something, okay, that's cool. So I could just edit this so that I'm in the center. So with just a little bit of adjusting, now you have your own short clips. Now let's come down to create highlight reel, because what this is going to do, and I have my own layout selected, my own template. I'm going to hit submit. This came up with 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So even though I don't usually publish a 3-minute, 30-second clip on social media, I do like that it creates this for me, and then I can go in and find little snippets that I might want to use in my social media. Find highlights is another really interesting option. I'm going to select blue as my highlight color because you can see in my script, I already have some purple highlights because I've already used this function here. And I'm going to hit submit. I'm just asking it to go through my script and find the interesting parts and highlight it for me. We could come down here. We'll hit play, test it out. Imagine this whole spider web of videos that are all sending people. So if I wanted to take this and turn it into its own clip in a new composition, I could hit duplicate to a new composition. So this repurpose section for create clips, create highlight reel, find highlights, it's all kind of working in a similar way. It'll be up to you what makes sense for your actual workflow. Down here under publish, I love these because these are like post-processing things you can do with your video. So once you have your completed edit, you could come here and go draft a title. We can get some title suggestions that capture what's most compelling about what you created. I don't have any examples or custom instructions for this, so we'll just let Descript do its thing and hit submit. And we have 10 options for titles of this video. That is really cool. And let's go to summarize. Again, it's telling us, it'll give us an accurate, concise synopsis of our content. I don't have examples or custom instructions, so let's hit submit. And it took the entire episode and summarized it for us. So let's take a look at show notes. And again, I'm not going to give it examples or custom instructions, but let's hit submit. And now it's combining the title, the description or summary with timestamps and chapters, basically. So again, this probably needs a little bit of refinement, and all you have to do is copy this and paste it into your YouTube description box or your podcast show notes. YouTube description is similar to the others. Let's see what it comes up with. It might be just a little bit shorter. No, it's actually the same. It's just a little different. And then let's draft a social post. So it's asking us to choose a social network. Oh, social network or professional network. Okay, so let's choose professional network. Let's say we're going to put this on LinkedIn, and we'll leave everything else the way it is. Option 1, just released episode 18. Curious about the real value of YouTube monetization in this episode. I like how it's written in first person. It gives you highlights. Oh, this is good, actually. This is really good. And then we have draft a blog post. I definitely do have my own format and style of how I like to have my blog posts written and created, but this isn't bad. It gives me a title. It has our introduction. It's not really giving any bullet points. It's just like headline, paragraph, headline, paragraph, headline, paragraph. I think it needs a little bit more polish before it goes on a blog, but it's definitely a good start. And then down here at the very bottom is the write block. So we have brainstorm, write a script, write an outline, or rewrite. So let's actually start a whole new composition so that we can start from scratch, and let's choose brainstorm. I'm going to ask it to brainstorm for me this video that you're watching right now. I want to create a video about Descript's Underlord and all of those features. It's given me a script. It's given me a video script. Welcome to our comprehensive guide on Descript. This is not bad. It's not how I would script a YouTube video. And if you're watching this far, you know that's not how I scripted this YouTube video. Let's come back down to write a script. script. Oh wow, we have a nice long script here. Hey there, video creators and podcasters. If you add in your own sort of personality, then it's a good place to start. And that covers all of Descript's AI features in the Underlord so far. Don't forget to hit subscribe to this channel because Descript updates their software all the time. And grab that one-page Descript cheat sheet using the link down in the description. I created that so you can find your way around the software super easily.